I now recognize myself for the 5 minutes of questioning, and I want to start by saying that there has been a lot of suggestions about ways to elevate our economic statecraft regime. You may know Dr. Henry Farrell and Dr. Abraham Newman. They wrote in their article for Foreign Affairs in October of 2023 that the U.S. needs a comprehensive economic security strategy to outline how the U.S. could implement its de-risking strategy. Dr. Norris, I know the working group that you led has done a lot of outside-the-box thinking on how to align economic and national security resources. So can you share your thoughts on the idea advocated by some to create an economic security intelligence apparatus aligned with other intelligence arms of the U.S. government?
Sure. I think that the suggestion is probably coming into a space that has for a long time been relatively under-resourced and under-provisioned. A lot of intelligence focuses around military or strategic intelligence. Economic intelligence is done widely in the private sector, but not nearly to the same scale or breadth in government. And so I think that there is potentially a positive contribution to be made around building out our capacity to be able to do economic security intelligence. The comment about Farrell and Newman's work, I think it's pretty emblematic in political science because it tends to conceive of economic tools of national power through a relatively coercive lens. And I agree that that's an important part of how these things work, but it's not the only part. And it may not necessarily even be the thing that the United States is best at. So I'd encourage the committee to think more broadly and holistically about economic tools of national power. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, should Congress consider reviving the Office of Technology Assessment that provided legislative branch with scientific advice? What is your thinking on that?
I am not a technical specialist, so I always find technical advice to be very constructive in a policy domain. I think that it's useful in terms of informing good policy. It provides that kind of information flow back and forth.
Well, let me go to Ms. Dezenski. In April 2024, you wrote an article published in the FDD website. I think the title was Economic Security is National Security, in which you seem to support the idea of creating a new Economic Security Council to be used as a referee to mitigate the disputes between the NSC and NEC. Is that still your view, and how do you feel about Economic Security Council idea today?
Mm-hmm. I do think it's still a good idea to have that strong interagency engagement and the ability to close the gap across the siloed organizations and regulatory authorities and policies that are being used right now. So I think we need that more than ever.
Thank you. The department has struggled to find its purpose as its most important authorities and functions have been absorbed by other agencies, as I mentioned in my opening remarks. This is especially true when it comes to our economic statecraft. Presidents Obama, Trump, both made efforts to move USTR, and President Obama proposed to consolidate it with 5 other agencies, and President Trump said it should be absorbed by Commerce. So there is bipartisan belief that USTR's current independent status is undesirable. Dr. Norris, where should USTR reside? And I would like to ask Mrs. Dezenski to also answer the question, should international economic statecraft be led by a single agency? And if so, which agency should lead it? Can you both tackle that?
Sure. So USTR plays a very important role in spearheading trade efforts on the part of the U.S. government. I think what's missing has been the ability to integrate that into a larger strategy and security strategy. At various times we have integrated it. And so I think that when we think about where it ought to live and what functions it performs, I think it needs to be considered under the larger umbrella of strategy and how that role feeds into U.S. strategy, whether it's to expand free trade agreements or to constrict them. All those things kind of matter from a strategy perspective.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm going to give some time.
Thank you. With respect to who should lead on economic statecraft, I think there's a leadership role across a variety of organizations, tools, and authorities, as I mentioned in the testimony. But I do think there is an opportunity for State Department to take a lead coordination role. It just feels like the time is right for this. It has to reside somewhere. Mm-hmm. The interagency process is valuable and meaningful, but there needs to be leadership that connects strategy to operational implementation and coordination. And because we are now in what I think is a full-scale pivot to an economic security power projection era, that is foreign policy now. So I believe it makes sense to create a leadership function within State Department.
Thank you. Let me